You gotta make him feel stupid for trying you. Reverse Uno. The flex is not caring about what he does or has going on anymore after you. Not reaching out after some time has passed because you miss him. Not responding if he reaches out. Move on with your life and level up. Continuing to engage with him when you know the shit is over and know he isn't any good for you is just stroking his ego. It's letting him know he still has power over you. And then you're the one left feeling stupid. No, leave him alone. Cry in private. Write out your frustration in your journal. And don't send him any more text. Show his ass that you can be without him. Show him he ain't that special. Show him he doesn't have a hold on you anymore. If you're wondering where I'm reading from, that is just a post I wrote that I was feeling it in my bones. And I'm like, reverse Uno. Like, no, instead of you feeling stupid for wanting him and reaching out to him, make him feel stupid. Do the exact opposite of what he expects you to do, especially if you have always reached out to him, especially if you have always gone back. That's the way to make him feel it. Y'all want to know how to get back at him? Act like you don't give a damn about him. Move on with your life. But that is a post I wrote that's on my Threads account. I forgot to say where it's from. That's a post that I wrote that is on Threads under Kendall D, and also on my Instagram under Kendall D. All of my social media is now Kendall D. Admin that girl is like the at, because I really want to put my name on things, and I want when it's shared it has my name, because I would be responding to comments and people will be responding to me as I've been that girl too, and I'm like, no, I want them to know my name. I'm Kendall D. Okay. But anyway, let's get into this podcast episode. Now, usually, well, this is still going to be soft love, but this is going to be not as soft. I'm going to kind of be not. I'm not going to say tough love. I'm just going to tell it like it is, because sometimes I feel we need to hear that, But I'm going to do it with love, and I am holding your hand while I say all of this. Okay, so don't be coming. You didn't hold my hand first. This is me holding your hand right now, okay? Okay, let's go. So men like this are always going to expect you to come back. They're going to expect you to double back around. They're going to expect you to reach back out. They're going to expect your forgiveness. They're going to expect the I miss you text, because you've always given him another chance. You've never really stood up for yourself. You've never really held any boundaries when it came to him. You always did what he wanted when he wanted. You always put him first. He doesn't expect you to put yourself first, because you never have. You've always chosen him over choosing yourself. So he expects you to always come running back. But when you decide to no longer do that, when you decide to disappear emotionally, that's when he starts to be confused. And it's not because he loves you. It's because his ego has lost a supply source. And when he tries to straighten up and tell you all these lies like I love you, I don't want to lose you, or he suddenly does these grand gestures, that is also not love. That is panic. He is panicking that his ego is about to lose another supply source. That's it. Think of it like this. When you reach back out to that man, he is laughing at you. He is like, look, I got her wrapped around my finger. Look, she comes running back. She always does. I knew it. And the second you realize that you're just stroking his ego, that he finds this comical, that you just always come running back and can't leave him alone, the sooner you would just go cry in private. Because I'm not saying none of this shit is not supposed to hurt. I'm not saying that you're not supposed to have these feelings and cry. Yeah, this shit hurts. And it's okay to cry about it. But cry about it to someone who cares, a therapist or yourself. Or me, because I do one-on-one mindset and intuitive coaching, which you can check out, link in my description. But anyway, he doesn't care about your tears. He doesn't care about you as a person. He only ever cared about you because of what you were doing for him, or what he can get out of you, whatever it was that he wanted out of you. He's not suddenly acting right or saying, I love you, I miss you. He doesn't mean any of that. He is just doing whatever he thinks he has to do in order to keep you running back to him. All that up and down mess and inconsistency, hot and cold behavior, there is no good man in that. A good man wouldn't have these ups and downs. He would be just good throughout. This man has a pattern of being up and down with you because he thinks that's what's going to keep you hooked. And it is working so far. It has. He knows that you believe that there's really a good man inside of him, but the patterns that he is doing, that's who he is. Stop running back to him. Every time you reach out to that man after you already know the truth, every time you respond to him just because he texted you, every time you check in just to see if he misses you, you are not getting closer to him. You're just reinforcing the belief that he can treat you however and that you will stay around. That he doesn't have to step up and do better. And you want to know the worst part about all of this is that he's not the confused one, although his behavior is confusing. You're the confused one. He knows exactly what he is doing. He's not confused by any of his behavior. You are. And what do I tell my ladies when you're confused with a man? Leave him alone. A good man is not going to have you being confused about anything. He knows exactly what he is doing. You're the one hoping that your consistency will eventually turn into his clarity. And it just will not, girlfriends. And then after you do reach out to him, you do respond to him, or you do go back, you sit there afterward asking yourself, why did I do that? I feel so stupid. I knew better. And to name that feeling, it's self-betrayal. And it's not because you loved him so much, but because you ignored yourself. So the real way to make him feel stupid isn't yelling or shouting or explaining or exposing. It isn't proving your worth. The real gag is doing the opposite of what he expects of you. He expects one last conversation. He expects those long thought out texts of you talking about how mad you are at him and how he did you so wrong and how you're so angry at him. He expects the emotional outburst. But what he doesn't expect is your silence, your distance, you cutting him off, you blocking him on everything. He doesn't expect a woman who doesn't fold even when she's deeply hurting. Because when you walk away unemotional and not feeding into any of his behavior, not saying a thing to him, there's nothing for him to play with. This is how you make him feel stupid for playing you, for trying you. Because isn't it better than him making you feel stupid? And I need my girlfriends to hear this part because I oftentimes hear some of you say that you feel like blocking him is immature. But it's not. Not reaching out isn't about being unbothered necessarily. It's about being disciplined. It's about taking your love away. It's about reclaiming your power. It's about reclaiming your energy. Because the truth is, you're still going to miss him. You're still going to think about texting him. You're still going to have moments where your body wants familiarity back. But you can't let your temporary feelings dictate permanent behavior. You got to have some pride about yourself here, girlfriends. You got to be a little egotistical, if you will. You got to treat yourself like you're the shit and he is a fool for messing this up. You have to make him feel stupid for ever trying you and playing with you like that. You got to show him you're not the one. You got to be the woman who got away. Not the woman who kept going back and staying. Yeah, you may have went back a few times, but be the one that got away for good. Be the one that finally let his ass go. Make him feel stupid. Don't continue to make yourself feel stupid for his ass. You gotta cry in private. Write it out. It's okay to feel it fully. But you can't keep crying it out to him. It's not going to work. He does not care. If he cared, you wouldn't be in this predicament, now would you? Because every single time you don't reach back out to him, every single time you don't go back to him, you're teaching yourself and your nervous system that I can survive discomfort without abandoning myself. That's how you reclaim your power. And I'll be honest, I know you want him to feel the pain like you feel. You want him to understand your pain. You want him to care. But of course, we know that he's just not. But it will hit him when you do it this way, when you go silent, when you just walk away, when you block him. It's going to hit him when you no longer respond, when you don't watch his stories on IG, when you don't react to his bait, when you don't text him back, when you don't text him at all, when you don't show up emotionally anymore. It's going to hit him then. It's going to make him realize that, damn, I really lost her this time. I don't have another chance. You all out of chances. And none of this is going to be because he actually loves you. It's going to be because he lost control. Men like that, they look at women as objects that they can control. They only feel like men then when they have control over you. And so when you take back your power, that weakens his control and that makes him spiral out. So if you want to get him back, you get him back by not saying shit else to him. And he'll just move on to some other supply, but you're not going to care about that because you're going to be too busy leveling up your life. You're going to be doing your healing because he's going to keep on damaging woman after woman after woman. You've won because your heart is still there. You've won because now you're going to do the work to heal and become better. You must realize that you're crying and sliding down a wall over a man who is not even going to be your type anymore once you heal and get through this phase in your life. He is not shit. And once you level up your life, you're going to realize that. So dry your tears. Do your healing. Do your work. Forget about him. And day by day, as you continue to forget about him and move on with your life, you'll find yourself crying less and less over him because you're getting you back. So when I say make him feel stupid for trying you, what I really mean is stop proving you're accessible to someone who never earned you. You're going to walk away with discipline. You're going to walk away with your dignity, with your pride. You're going to walk away even when you're shaking and wobbly. You're still doing it. And you're only shaky and wobbly because your nervous system is not used to you choosing yourself. It's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's not because you need him back. You only think he was soothing your nervous system because he was familiar. But once again, like I've always said on here, y'all, familiarity does not mean it's healthy. It just means it's what you're used to. So that shaking you feel, that crying you're doing, that sadness you feel, that feeling in your stomach where it's just not settled because you're just feeling a mess, the crying, the not eating, all of that. That doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It doesn't mean you need him back. It doesn't even really mean you miss him necessarily. It just means this is something different for you and you have to get used to a new normal, a new familiar. You got to be a little stubborn here, you know? You got to be the woman who doesn't fold, who doesn't play about herself. You got to be the woman who chooses herself. Stop choosing men just because they were a little nice to you in the beginning. Just because it seemed like they chose you and wanted you. That part is easy. But the actually maintaining a relationship, being emotionally mature, being respectful, that's the work that men like that just aren't able to continue and do. Men like that just can't do that type of work. And so you have to choose yourself, you know? Even though it hurts. Even though it's hard, even though it's difficult, even though the easy thing would be to just go back to him, you know? You just got to think about what are you going back to? What are you deciding to continue to put up with, you know? Because you weren't happy there either. There's nothing there is going to change. I know sometimes we feel it deep in our soul that this man has potential and that this man can eventually change. But that pattern is who he is. Okay? So, make him feel stupid for playing with you. You don't want to be the one that feels stupid. Anytime you think about reaching back out to him, anytime you think about sending him a text, breaking no contact. Anytime you feel like doing any of those things and running back to his ass, think about how you don't like how stupid you feel afterwards. Make him feel stupid instead. Okay? And if you need help with this, once again, I do offer one-on-one mindset and intuitive coaching. I've been coaching now, I want to say for about 5 years. And I have some people I've been coaching for 2 and 3 years. Because I have a Patreon subscription to where it's ongoing. It's cheaper that way. And if you feel like that you need a lot of help, then you can do ongoing where you do like a subscription base. And you can cancel it anytime when you feel like it. Or if you just need like a help with like a one-time thing, or you just want to do it once and you feel like that's all you need, then I have my non-subscription based coaching, which was highly requested by you all because some people didn't want to do subscription and I got it. So I have like an hour-long chat and then a 30-minute quick chat with just like to discuss some things. So you can always add on a bonus 10 minutes as well. All of that is linked in the description. One is going to say non-subscription, which is just like the one-time coaching. And then the other is going to say subscription based, which is on my Patreon. My Patreon also has like some bonus podcast episodes as well. And also I have books out. I have a journal that can help you with this. It's called Getting Over Him and Back to You, which can help during this process because instead of texting him or writing him, you're going to write it in that journal, Getting Over Him and Back to You. Okay? Because in 2026, we're not running back to these men that ain't treating us right, that haven't earned us, they're not treating us with respect, the bare minimum things that we shouldn't have to ask and beg for, you know? Get back to you. Take you back because you've put all of you into him. And now it's time to reclaim yourself, your energy, and your power. Okay? But everything is linked in the description. I got quite a few books out. And I also have one just with my insights and reflections in there as well. That talks a little bit about everything, not just relationships as well. Mostly relationships, but it has a few other things there. And I have more books coming out this year that I'm working on. I'm a slow writer, so forgive me. And it's just because I think it's my ADHD. I've been thinking about getting on medication for it. I'm not sure because I don't want the medication to get rid of my whimsy or creative mind, if you will. I do want the thoughts in my head and the writings that I have to be sorted out. I feel like it's always all jumbled up and it takes time. I have to write it out, then go back and re-edit, and rewrite. So it's a slow process. I'm a slow writer and I procrastinate, but I also like the results of doing the work. So I'm going to do the work. Okay? I am. It's going to come out this year. It has to. Let me stop talking about it and just do it because I've been talking about it. So that's enough of talking about it. I'm going to just do it. Okay? All right. And yeah, that's all I got for this podcast episode, girlfriends. Until the next one, peace out.
Excuse me, can I please talk to you for a minute?